All right, fellas. So this is good progress, right? I think you guys are probably at day 10, day 12, somewhere in there. And look, I think that it's really important. You know, you'd said that he's making small strides to. I think that it's important to see where we started and where he came from. I think it's really important for him to understand that there's a lot of progress happening. Right? We got to make sure that we're dedicated and we continue to work this thing out. Beyond the top hand arm therapy, you guys would continue to pound home some of these things that he's just starting to feel. The first few days of top hand arm therapy, right, are really not muscle memory days. They're trying to get a player to feel something completely different, right, in terms of how we're going to use the top hand arm mechanism. So this is very encouraging. I want you guys to, when you're on the ground doing the two-hand isolation drill, right? So we're still lacking a bottom hand arm response. You can see it a little bit better in terms of what's happening here, but this is pretty natural for a top hand arm that's trying to set itself up to get behind the ball. And you see we kind of sacrifice a little bit of depth here in terms of the barrel because of this lack of response from the bottom hand arm. Now, it's not fair to say because you're definitely getting a lot more relief as the top hand arm is starting to get behind the ball. But I want you guys to focus when you're doing the two-hand ISO, right, that you're going to, I think I pointed out in one of your last videos. If I didn't, but I want you to try to get these mechanisms to work on top of that line a little bit more when you're doing the two-hand ISO, right? When he's up here, I don't want him thinking about it as much. I just want him to continue to try to build in that muscle memory and that feeling, right, as he's working inside. I think that the more relief we get from this mechanism, right, understanding the rules. Remember, we're trying to get this guy to work short as possible, right? But this guy is creating a little bit of the resistance. But, look, we've got to understand where we came from, right? You see lots of stuff tied up here. He's making a tremendous amount of progress in that he's not losing the barrel. He's in complete control of his destiny here at approach, right? Whereas before he was kind of flipping the bat, right? Now he's starting to get into a position where he's driving through the zone, right? Getting behind a ball is really important. It's something that's interesting is in terms of weight shift. We didn't work on that at all, and I think it's always interesting to see when a player has a better understanding what these backside mechanisms are going to do. They're not going to be so front-side dominant and helping drag the backside along. He understands now, oh, the top hand arm's supposed to do that? All right, good. Right? So this is good progress. Keep doing the drills. This is the point where, I think the rubber meets the road, is that we start doing more work on our feet and we start going, well, this is what real hitting is. But I want you guys to really dedicate yourself over the next couple of weeks and doing those drills we're doing on the ground, that isolation drill for the top hand, that isolation drill for the two-hand, transition drill, right? Continue to pound home on those things, right? And this stuff will become more and more just second nature to him, trying to get these mechanisms to drive a little bit better. Our extension is going to get better the more that our front side, this response gets a little bit cleaner, right? And that's going to come from that two-hand ISO, trying to make sure all these mechanisms stay working up here a little bit more, right, as opposed to wanting to come down and underneath. That's where that little response comes from that. It's just not trusting that we can go directly to where we need to go from up here, right? I want to feel like I'm going this way, right, instead of feeling like I have to press down and then go this way, right? This bottom hand arm is just responding to that. As soon as the brain says, all right, I'm trying to go straight there, the bottom hand arm is going to respond to that just a little bit better. As you can see, just a little bit, the time that you guys have spent, the more I start getting this guy into a position where it's going to drive, right, this side's going to respond. Really great improvement after just a number of days. If you consider how long you guys have been playing the game, right, how long he's been swinging a bat, this is just a little blip in the radar, right, of his overall career. And you guys, just a little bit of time that you've dedicated to this, I just can encourage you to continue to pound home on these feelings, right, and he's just going to get that much better.